Hey YouTube, I have gotten a lot of questions about dice and dice floating. Is my dice heavier on one side than it is the other? Well, I'm here to answer that question. First question is, yes, your dice are heavier on one side than the other. So there is less plastic that's removed on the 1 than there is the 20. So therefore the one side is going to be a little bit heavier than the 20. But also your dice is not shaped properly. When a dice is tumbled, it is to round the edges and remove the excess paint. It is now shaped like this. What happens is when it's in there, it'll start tumbling a certain way, and more edges will get wore down than the others. So this is an exaggeration of what your dice looks like. Now, I found on the chessex dice in the past, the 1 and 20 is the longest axis, and then you've got smaller axes over here. So what happens is your die kind of acts like an iceberg, and it floats in the water like this, and it picks the 20 to be on top because the 1 is, as I said before, heavier. So it'll float like this. Now, when you roll it, though, it's not going to land this way because this face is now smaller than these other faces. And your center of gravity is going to be in the more narrow section of your die. So it's going to roll like this and land like this. And that's pretty much an oversimplification of a lot of questions, an answer to a lot of questions I've gotten. It's just your die is now no longer shaped correctly. But a way to fix that is to use a dice tower, because it allows the die to stop before it finds its true center of gravity. So you don't have to throw out all your dice. Just start using a dice tower when you play, and that will help you out. Now, this year I have noticed that there may have been a manufacturing change at Chessex, and I'm not really sure yet. I've been asking around to see if people knows. I picked up 2 dice at Gen Con this year, and this one is the Faux metal jacket. It's a prototype die that they're working on, and it is a zinc-based die that's been molded. It has not been tumbled, and then they anodize it or do some sort of coating on it. This one's pink, if you can see, if I can get the sunlight off the die. It's a pretty cool die, and this one is one of their glow-in-the-dark plastics that has been tumbled. Now, what happens is when I measure these, the way I do it is I measure each face axis like this with a set of digital calipers, and then I take the largest face axis and the smallest, and I subtract one from the other, and that's where I get my tolerance on that die. I've noticed that this metal one has 3/1000ths of an inch in tolerance, and so since it wasn't tumbled, I can expect it to have some degree of accuracy. This one right here, I was surprised when this one has 3/1000ths inch of tolerance as well. And that was very interesting because before this year, every die that I had measured from them was within 100ths of an inch of tolerance, not 3/1000ths of an inch. And most game science that I measured have been around 5/1000ths of an inch. So, and I measured this over and over and over again, and it's only dice that have been made this year, not last year. So I'm not sure if they had a process change at Chessex or not. I'd like to know. If anybody knows, just let me know. But yeah, I hope this helps you all out. And remember, use a dice tower. Don't throw away your old dice. And if you find a set of dice that are beautiful and you love them, and they're not as accurate as you want them to be, just throw them in that dice tower and it will roll better. Thank you.